Good morning, guys. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. I figured we would get out in the garden and just kind of walk around and look at all of the things that we got done this week. Things that were recorded, things that were done off camera, because if you followed me for a while, you know that I love to just get out in the garden and work. And I like to have time out here where I'm not, where I'm just working and it's peaceful and I am not, recording or anything. It's just time out in nature. And, I just like to plant or just sit or whatever. Did any of you see that blood moon the other night? I could see it from my kitchen window. It looked like it was close to the ground and it was so big and red. I was like, wow. But, anyway, that was a cool sight to see. Was it every 6,000 years? So, I love natural wonders like that. But anyway, we're going to start in the garden. I know the first thing that we did this week was work on the front porch, but I figure while I'm back here in the garden, we'll look at the things we did back here and then we'll head to the front porch. Our first place to go is going to be, back here in the courtyard garden. And, Tika has made her way back here. We've got our squirrel friend here on the fence looking at me like, what's going on? But anyway, let me turn the camera around and I'll talk about what I did back here, which was off camera. And then we'll head over to the vegetable garden and our walkway bed right here. Let's see. There we go. There's my hand right here. The walkway bed. We'll look at that. We'll head out to the driveway, then we'll head to the front porch. All right. Okay, that is our squirrel buddy right there, guys, with a nut in his mouth, of course. And of course, one thing I pointed out was the tree that was here that is now gone. So I now have to restudy my courtyard to see what kind of sun I'm going to be getting. Because one of the reasons I put the spinach back here was because this was more of a shaded area. So we'll see how that works out. But we're heading into the courtyard. And you can see that Miss Tika is back here. The reason she is so interested in this back section, there are birds right there. And the reason those birds are over there is because there is a nest in here. They're living in there and they're living in this one. So Tika is disrupting their existence right now. But I'm back here because I want to point out this bed. I removed that black edging. I went around the yard and found some rock. These rocks are all over my yard. And if I were to go out and just dig in certain spots, I'll find them inside the ground. They obviously used these for landscaping way back when. So a lot of the rock in the yard, as I've said before, I did not have to purchase. It just, was here. The lighter colored rocks that you see right here, those I did purchase from the rock yard up the street from my house, but these were all in the yard already, and they're brown. You'll notice that this bed is a combination of the lighter colors with some of the browner colored rocks that were already in the garden, and these were all from the garden already, so I just went ahead and used those, so they kind of match. There's a few little of the lighter rocks in there, but mostly brown. So as I step back, you will see they now look similar. They're matching, even though the rocks are not all the same color, because they have the same feel. And these smaller sun patiens, they have gotten bigger just in the last few days. And you can see that in spite of the fact that I cleaned up all of the leaves, these leaves are falling like crazy from this tree. They're falling as we're out here. I don't know if you could see some falling, but I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so that is what we got done back here this week. I got these rocks put out. So now we're going to grab Tika so the birds can, live their life. And we're going to head over to the vegetable garden. Miss Tika, come on. Yeah, come on. So the Tika and I have her in my arms. We are walking. And I am going to put her here where she tends to like to sit, right here on this bench. Let's see if she stays. And let's head over to the vegetable garden. As you see from here, the snapdragons are looking very pretty. All of them. Look at the yellows and pinks and whites and all the pinks over there. Very pretty. So these are the tomatoes. These are the tomatoes that I purchased, and you can see how much bigger they are, and I really need to get some trellises right away. And these are the tomatoes that I transplanted from the other bed. These were coming up from the tomatoes that were there last season. I don't know if roots were still in the ground or if they dropped seed, but there was a bunch of them. So I planted them in groupings. This one seems to be struggling a little bit, but look how good the rest are doing. So this side of the bed was filled, and then we moved those tomato seedlings, and they were moved from over here. And you can even see there is still one there, and there is one right there. So that is what we got done here in the vegetable garden. I have to say that this romaine has just shot up, and I have actually cut from it and made a salad and stuff. So I am eating from my lettuce. And while we're back here, let me show you how filled out the roses are. So you see, after pruning them so dramatically, you see how they're really thickening up into a bush shape. See that one? And these leaves, of course, they're baby leaves. That's why they are red in color as they're coming out. But they will turn green. And there's that one. And as I walk back up the walkway, I also picked some strawberries yesterday and ate strawberries from my plant there. They were pretty good, I must say. So as I walk back over here, the pink roses, as you can see, that one's doing good. This one is starting to get more leaves, even some baby ones down there. And this rose here, it does not seem like it's coming back yet. It is kind of within all of this. It is the one that was really pretty pink and scented, so I may have to replace it. We'll see. And now the walkway. As you can see, it is filling in nicely. So here is where I found a Rebecca that was growing in between the rocks way over there in the foundation bed along the house. So I moved it here, gave it a good watering, so it is perked up and it's looking good. And I got a good enough root system from it. Now I dug that up off camera, of course, but we did plant this Agastaki there, the Gara, the white Gara there, and the pincushion flower right there in between the grasses that were, transplanted, divided and transplanted from the back garden. We have, let me back up, the Society garlic here, that's a variegated version, and here are all pretty much fully up. And then, of course, you can see just from standing here the Gerber daisies. Look at the pretty, beautiful pink color there. And the yellow. So pretty. And then as we go here, I've got weeds, of course, to get up. But ignoring that, look how big the salvia that we transplanted has gotten. You see those? They look good. And that onion that has lagged behind and really did not grow last year, you can see it right there. And the onions are looking good. So all I have left is I need to get my other beds taken care of so that I can get these peppers out. And I got to get the weeds up in this section. A lot of these are not weeds. These are seed droppings. Pink salvia that I had here, it drops seeds like crazy. You can see there are seeds there, seedlings within the grass here. So I pulled it out because of that reason. And I think I just have one left in the yard. You can see one growing back there. So these are a bunch of salvias coming up. If I had a larger space, I would love to have it out. You can even see some over here. And then all these little things, the reason I have not done the weeds over here is because these are all celosia seeds. So like the salvia, it drops seeds like crazy. And the Mexican lime here, as you can see, it's got new growth coming up from the root, in spite of the fact that we lost this part of it. And this happened last year when we got a frost, and it came back just fine. So we'll see how this goes. And so far, no sign of life for the Barbados cherry. But of course, the orange and the lemon tree are doing very good. So now let's head out to the driveway so we can take a look at what we did out here. And you can see out here, we freshly mulched. That looks so pretty, so neat and clean. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes. All right. So now we are going to head to the front porch and take a look at what we did to decorate for spring on the front porch. Okay, guys, so now we are out in the front, and this is the front porch. We put out a fresh garden flag right there. We'll give you a close-up of that. Birds on a blue jay, a cardinal, and I can't remember what the other one is, a chickadee, I believe, on a bird bath surrounded by flowers. It's pretty. And then the front porch itself has a new wreath and hydrangeas, and, of course, the evergreens that are there. And there's an airplane. Hang on. I hate that there's always air traffic when I'm out, but I can't do anything about it. But as you can see, we've got the mat. This is the same mat I used last year that says hello with pink and white flowers. So you can see we kind of have pinks out here. I tend to like to do pinks or yellows or a combination when we're outside. And then the wreath, which is like a wicker rattan. I'm not sure exactly what to call the material. I did look it up and can't remember what they said it was. So anyway, that is what I have here. And it is a half wreath with a bow on it, and there are eggs in it. And this wreath is something that I'll be able to transform to a fall wreath, a winter wreath, whatever, because I can stick greenery inside of this. I like having the frames so that you can make it whatever you want. So we've got that, some evergreens, and the hydrangeas, like I said. So that is what I did to decorate the porch for spring. There's not as many blooming plants on the porch as there were last year. Maybe I'll add some later, but right now it's just a little simple with an evergreen and the hydrangeas and the wreath. So I think it's pretty. And guys, in case you haven't noticed, you can see Miss Tika right here. Wherever I go outside, she will go to the window nearest so she can see what's going on. All right, guys. Well, that is my garden update for the week. Everything we did in the back and in the front here on the front porch to decorate for spring. I hope you enjoyed walking around the garden and everything with me this morning. And I will see you in the next video. But before we go, let me show you my friend that's approaching me right now. Hi. Hi. This is my buddy. And if Tika could come out, she would chase this little girl all the way across the street. She's so cute. Yeah. Is your mommy back home now? Is your mommy home? All right, guys, I'm going to hang out with my buddy out here for a little bit and then go deal with Tika, who will be mad at me. But until the next video, get out in your garden and enjoy yourselves. And I will see you next time. Bye.